Welcome to Frankie the Podcast, the companion podcast to the trans visibility animated film Frankie the Magicorn. This first batch of podcasts will consist of interviews with a number of trans individuals who want to share their stories and contribute to the project.
Happy Father's Day, Sparkle Hearts. Father's Day is a special occasion where we remember and celebrate those men who raised us, or those masculine-coded people in our upbringing who helped make us who we are today. Sometimes we just have a spare tie that we want to give someone influential to our development in mid-June. But not everyone gets to have that influence. Some people don't have that presence in their lives, or at least not a presence they want to celebrate. Maybe they were emotionally distant. Maybe they were literally distant. Worst of all, they may have been disapproving of your authentic self. It's sad to say, but some guys just don't deserve ties. Good news though, it's Pride Month. You deserve to have someone tell you how proud they are of you. That's what Team Frankie is here to do today. We're going to do a supercut of our recent interviewees sharing their advice for trans youth, and then I'll be back at the end with a closing message. From former Navy Chief Interpretive Cryptologic Technician, Andy Rose. What's your advice for trans children?
Oh, you're not crazy, and have that talk with your parents and let them know how you feel. Because there's no time like the present, and you can't unring bells. You really can't. So one of those things that we're always told, what's the best time to plant a tree? I'm sure you've heard this before.
No.
Best time to plant it was 20 years ago. What's the second best time? Right now.
Oh.
So, you're not crazy. Have that talk. Talk to your parents. Open that line of communication and get the care you need. Because doing this 30 years later, much harder and much suckier.
Here's some advice from voice of Frankie himself, Dorian Michael Gray.
Please, go see a therapist. Get diagnosed. Get them to help you find the right prescriptions, find the right doctor to help you, find the right surgeon to help you. The chain of correct doctors is the best way to help you get to be the person that you need to be.
From our announcer and chief composer, Ronan Cohn.
Continue being awesome. I mean, I'm on Twitter, so I see a lot of younger trans people just existing out in the world. I don't know. I think advice for any kid is just keep being awesome. Try to keep being yourself as much as you can, whatever that means for you. I think that's the best thing anyone can do.
From Everyone's Everything, Sabrina Pandora.
Talk to your parents. If your parents won't listen, talk to your counselor. If your counselor won't listen, don't talk to your church. Talk to people. Let people know. Explain what's going on. Don't hide it. Don't try to keep it in the closet. It's the 21st century. They are rapidly realizing that we exist, that we're a thing, we're not an aberration, and that if it can be caught early enough, it can be a life changer. I would give anything to be able to take a trip in the time machine, go back and amend all of where my life went wrong, because it would be a life changer for me. Don't worry, kid, I can stop the flow of testosterone. I got this. Because I was horrified at what was happening to my body in puberty. I wanted none of this, leg fur that was sprouting in. I didn't want my voice to go deeper. I didn't want big, broad shoulders. I wanted none of that. And, I would love to have been able to save myself from that. In trans kids, I can see where, okay, if they had this off before the damage is done, then it can be a real thing. Respect their individuality. Respect the fact that they may actually not know exactly who they are, but they may want to explore who they are. And in some cases, they know who they are. I always knew. So I think trans kids, it's very heartening to me to see that trend is coming around. And we're seeing more of parents of trans kids are coming forward and they're like, look how happy she is. My child is happy. She laughs, she plays, makes up funny little songs. That's huge.
From cosplayer and man about town, Zeth Drain.
Find friends and hopefully family who support you. If your family does not support you, there are resources out there and there are people out there who will support you. Then, and again, never use ace bandages. If you use ace bandages, I will come out there and find you and I will hit you in the head with a better binder and scream at you. If you can't afford to get one online, there are some charities out there that do binder exchanges. And like I said, you can get like shapewear from Walmart for $7 to $15, like for lower bodies. Cut a hole in the crotch, cut the sleeves off. That's better than an ace bandage, as long as it fits properly. If you're feeling pain or shortness of breath when you're binding too tight, you need a bigger binder. It shouldn't hurt. If it hurts, you are doing it wrong. It should feel kind of snug, but like a good binder still feels kind of comfortable. It can almost feel like a hug, like a tight hug, but try not to overbind, because overbinding is still bad for you. I was really bad about overbinding. I overbound way too much. And basically, if you're wanting to pursue medical transition, just kind of do your research and see what's right for you. You don't have to do any particular thing just because that's what someone else did or that's what someone thinks you're supposed to do.
Gina Phillips is one of our oldest and dearest friends. Personally, she made me feel like family when I first moved to Atlanta, a town where I knew nobody, and joined her Rocky Horror cast in 2003. This is her advice for trans youth.
Don't be afraid to be who you are. Be as honest as you're able to. Of course, protect yourself. You know what kind of support you have available to you. Make sure that even if your parents don't support you, that there's plenty of people out here who are cheering for you and who are glad to love and nurture you as much as possible. You're not alone, and you'll never be alone. And that's so important because when you're a kid and you're trans, it is just so easy, especially growing up when I did in the sort of the pre-internet age, basically. It's so easy to feel alone. And to feel like there's just nobody you can talk to about any of it. What you are is not bad. What you are is not wrong. Who you are is beautiful, and you can embrace it. If you can't embrace it openly right now, just remember that there's a whole world out there that's dying to meet you.
Zeth wrote this for Father's Day. To those who celebrate it, happy Father's Day. I hope you have a wonderful time. To those who do not celebrate Father's Day, your reasons are valid, no matter what they are. I hope you have a wonderful day too. There's all sorts of reasons why someone might not want to celebrate such days, and people need to hear that it's okay to not participate if participation is not right for them, and that their reasons matter and deserve respect. Rhea, Zeth's partner, wants you to do something for yourself today, and try to get out of the house. Taylor, whose interview is still awaiting processing, wants you to know that they're proud of your strength. Finally, me. Hey, champ. I'm just an old cisgendered animator who's still learning about the struggles you're going through. Something I can empathize with, but will never be able to fully appreciate from my place of cis privilege. But everyone deserves some words of encouragement from a middle-aged someone with a voice this deep, so on behalf of Team Frankie and my own sentimental self, I want to say I'm proud of you. Whoever you are, I'm proud of you. If you're listening to this, you're still here, and I can't tell you how grateful I am to have you here. You made it. Are you being your authentic self? You are? I can't tell you how proud that makes me. That's more than most people can do all over the gender spectrum. Here's a side note to all the fan artists that have been inspired to render Frankie lately. As a former teen artist myself trying to get better, but mostly trying to transfer the flights of whimsy from my loud brain to the paper, I'm incredibly proud of you. Yeah, I know, everything you've drawn now will feel amateur in 5 years, but in 10 years, you'll finally be able to appreciate how good you were, how good you are now. Thank you for helping us visualize this beautiful creature that just wants to normalize the trans experience. We'll have some fan art contests in the next few weeks, by the way, so look out for those. From Team Frankie, I'm Sketch McQuinner. Thank you for sharing our project. A big thank you to those of you that can donate. But mostly, thank you for believing in us. We believe in you. Happy Father's Day. We're proud of you.
Thank you for joining us for Frankie the Podcast. For more on our Kickstarter and the animated short we're trying to produce, please visit www.frankieismagic.love. This first batch of interviews were conducted by our producer and animation director, Sketch McQuinner.
Nostalgia music by Raphael Crooks from freepd.com.
Intro music by Chicago-based musician Ronan Cohn. I'm Ronan Cohn. Spread the word and be your authentic self. Thanks so much.